Just got back from day one of the New York Jets training camp of 2019. Um, it started around. They started something new this year where Adam Gase starts to practice at 8 o'clock, 8:30, I believe, and it actually is much better than having a 12 o'clock like beaming hot sun. But obviously, that's not what you guys want to hear about. So let's just dive right in. What I noted from the practice, Le'Veon Bell. There's a lot of concern. Still, people were doubting him that he will not be 100%. He will not be the same. Bell was amazing today. He showed his speed, his agility, and when I looked at the offensive line, it was a little bit banged up, but it wasn't as bad as people think it is. It actually was quite decent, actually, and I was very impressed on how the offensive line kept the running backs, giving them room for them to run, especially Le'Veon Bell, Bilal Powell, Montgomery broke a couple off. So there was a lot of the offensive line was playing really well. Obviously, they did not have Brian Winters today. His wife is having birth, so he was excused. He should be back tomorrow for practice. Um, the guys who looked absolutely amazing today were Jameson Crowder. He's one of the best targets for Darnold. He made some diving catches today, and he was absolutely phenomenal. And I think Darnold likes that guy in Crowder. You know, I said this before that Crowder might be the best pickup we have. You know, Le'Veon Bell, C.J. Mosley are the great pickup, but this guy, he can still play. He just got overlooked because of his injury, and he actually can play ball. And I'm actually excited to see Crowder this season, and he's been showing it that Darnold and Crowder are developing a connection. It's something to look at throughout training camp if he keeps progressing, but I think Crowder is the guy to watch in this offense. Another guy that stepped up is rookie Blake Cashman. He is taking first team reps. Uh, Obviously, he's been amazing, and the defensive coaches like him. Greg Williams likes him, and overall the defense has been played really well this today. Obviously, cornerback was a little bit iffy, and we're all questioning it. I do think they should get another cornerback, and for depth, um, they did not have cornerback Brian Poole today because he was placed, but he should be back tomorrow. There was no injury related. Adam Gase reported that he just wanted him to get back into the groove of things. They just want him to get more conditioning done for him. So he will be back tomorrow, which is a really good thing for the team because we're very thin at cornerback. Um, Out of the quarterbacks, Sam Darnold, obviously, he's the number one quarterback. He played well. But Davis Webb and Trevor Siemian are the two guys that we have to look at. One of my colleagues, Brad, he mentioned in our latest talk show that he thinks Davis Webb will be the number two, and I thought so too. But today was not the case. Davis Webb was not. He was very off today. I believe he threw an interception, and he just looked. He had bad throwing. His passes were off the mark, and he just wasn't able to connect everything. Trevor Siemian wasn't that better than him, but he was a little bit better than Davis Webb. But overall, Sam Darnold was the number one guy. The number two spot is still up for grabs completely, and who knows who will jump that ship and get that number two quarterback position. Um, Overall, I think this team looked pretty good today for the first practice. You can't really say much. Quincy Enunwa looked good. He looked fast. Robbie Anderson needs to a little bit improve more. Um, he dropped a couple passes, um, and it's just been pretty. It's a good thing to see what the team has done so far. Um, and it was pretty amazing to see all these new guys on the field. And stars were on the field. Completely new team, completely new uniforms, completely new helmet. It was completely different practice to watch, as we saw a practice last week. Completely new head coach. Our coaches are different, so it was very interesting to see. But a lot of guys have stepped up. Greg Dortch is one of those guys. And it's just pretty much overall, I think we need to look at who will step up. Training camp just started. The pads haven't even come on, so we can't really say much. But when the pads come on, that's when it gets serious business, and to see who will fight for the final cut. And a lot of guys, like in practice, they're doing it all. So there's a lot of positions that might go right to the end, and it might be a really hard decision for the coaches to make, the GM to make, who to cut. And um, yeah, I think from now I can't really say much by just saying all these questions, but just giving you all the rundown of what happened today. But overall, I think the Jets, and it's the first day of practice, so it's not much to talk about. But again, I think overall some guys have stepped up, some guys have not, and there's still a lot of room for them to improve, and I believe they will. And well, that's it. Pretty much what I have to say. You gotta see. We just gotta see from now and to the end of training camp what type of improvement that people make, and um, the best man wins the job and gets the roster spot. So we'll see how this progresses. There's a lot of competition. So for camp, it's definitely amazing to have competition. Much more interesting for my job, to be more interesting and to watch, to see people compete, and it's really good to know that. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll have the coverage for you again. Follow us on Instagram at loyalnewyorkjetfans.com, Twitter, or we're gonna be live tweeting it at loyalnewyorkjetfans. Please subscribe, and we'll have every day videos of practice, videos or photos are all gonna be on this website. So give us a follow, give us a subscription, and go Jets. Stay loyal.